Welcome to Football with Cheese. Happy Sunday to everyone that likes the channel, and happy Sunday to everyone who doesn't like the channel, and the people who think the channel is just okay. So, a couple really important games, really exciting games in college football. We're going to quickly recap the big ones, but first make sure you are subscribed and hit that bell. You know how it works, so you do not miss a video. Let's go ahead and just talk about Notre Dame, Texas A&M. Huge game, especially for A&M. Got off to a really bad start. A&M, I guess they went 3 and out and go to punt, and it was blocked for a touchdown. Boom, 7-0 Notre Dame. You receive the ball, and you just give them 7 points. And I was like, oh no. This could get away from them, but it didn't. You got to give Texas A&M credit. Marcel Reed's just an incredible talent, dual threat quarterback, had a really good game. A&M's got a tough schedule. I was going to read it, but if I read everyone's schedule, then this video is going to take long. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes because got a lot of NFL games going to start soon. So Texas A&M has a very tough schedule, so this is a game they really needed to win. If they lost this, I think their playoff chances were very slim because the SEC schedule is brutal. But they won it. And they won a road game versus a top 10 team. That's going to look good for the committee. But still, you have to go at least 10-2 to make the playoff. At least you did last year. And Notre Dame, they're 0-2. But they lost to 2 very good teams. So if they win out, I think they'll be fine. They'll get in the playoff. But they have to win out. Luckily for them, the schedule is so easy. So there's a very good chance they'll be favored to win every game by 7 or more. But they have to win out. But really tough break for Notre Dame. If you didn't watch what happened, Jeremiah Love gets a touchdown. They go up 40-34 late. And the snap was mishandled. So they blew the extra point, so only up 6. And what does A&M do? They go right down the field. Actually had a 4th and goal. And just called a great play to the blocking tight end. He went up and got it. It was the only guy probably that was single covered on the play. Just a great play call. A&M makes the extra point. 41-40. Crazy score. We had never had an NFL game that was 41-40 in the history of the league. And you had one this past Sunday night. Bills beat the Ravens. It was a scoregami is what they call it. And then you have a 41-40 college game the next Saturday night. Crazy score. A&M, maybe a top 10 team now after that victory. Okay, so Florida. We've talked about Florida on the channel. Billy Napier, the head coach, is now 20-21 in his career. Awful. I think he's 10-15 in the SEC. They lose at LSU. I did not think they would win, but they kept it close. They had a shot. I believe DJ Lagway had 5 interceptions. Really talented kid, just made some really poor decisions, poor throws. And the LSU defense is just incredible. Harold Perkins Jr., he is an absolute monster. Reminds me of Edgerrin Cooper. Yeah, that's my comp for him. Instincts, explosion, speed, playmaking ability. And LSU, another big win for them. Garrett Nussmeier wasn't super sharp, wasn't his best game. But Florida does have a good defense. Both teams have good defenses. But Florida, you can't win scoring 10 points. You can't win scoring 16 against South Florida. You just can't. And Florida's in a lot of trouble. This could be a 4 or 5 win season. Their schedule is the hardest I have ever seen. They're at Miami next week. Very unlikely to win that. Miami looks outstanding. Let's talk about Miami. Easy transition for me there. They whooped South Florida. I did not see much of this game. I saw a little early on. After it was 14-3 and they had a weather delay for quite a while, I never turned back. I was watching Tennessee, Georgia, which we'll get into in a second. And South Florida looked amazing against Boise State. Won easily. They went to the Swamp, beat Florida. So a lot of people were saying they got a chance to beat Miami. Pat McAfee actually picked it. He does crazy stuff. He's a total goofball. But I did not pick them. But I thought they had a good chance to cover the spread. They didn't do either one. Miami just looks amazing this year. Their defensive line is incredible. They got some really good transfers. I really did not expect their offense to be this good. Another big win. They get Florida at home. They're probably going to be heavily favored, and I expect them to win. Okay, before we talk about South Carolina and Vandy, we need to talk about Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech played South Carolina really well week one. The final score was 24-11, but there were two big plays that changed the whole game. Otherwise, Tech played them pretty even. There was a special teams touchdown. Lenore Sellers threw a deep pass for a long touchdown. So that was really the difference in the game. So I'm thinking either South Carolina's not as good as we thought, or Virginia Tech could be pretty good. And Virginia Tech lost a lot of good players to the draft. They had 5 or 6 guys light up the combine. So I wasn't thinking Tech was going to be that good. So they lose to South Carolina, and then they play in Vandy, and Vandy has their way with them. So Vegas saw that, and South Carolina was only favored to beat Vandy at home by 2.5 because, South Carolina didn't play Virginia Tech nearly as well as Vandy did. Well, Virginia Tech loses to Old Dominion. They get blown out by Old Dominion home. I mean, embarrassing. I actually watched a little of that game in the second half because I was shocked. I was like, what is going on? And Virginia Tech now is 0-3. They do not look like a good team at all. So fast forward to Vandy, South Carolina. Vandy won easily in this game at South Carolina. So South Carolina is overrated. Now, Lenore Sellers did get knocked out of the game. Says he was a head injury for targeting on Vanderbilt's Langston Patterson in the first half. He did not return. That's awful. I don't know if he did on purpose. I have not seen the hit yet, but that's horrible. I'm not sure if South Carolina would have won. They had 4 turnovers. Maybe they would have. The backup did throw an interception. Lenore Sellers threw one as well, but you can't turn the ball over 4 times. And Vandy looks better than expected, and South Carolina looks worse. We'll see what happens. I'm assuming it was a concussion. Just hate to see it because Lenore Sellers is such a dynamic player. He's so athletic. He's got such a big arm. But big win for Vandy. I expect them to be ranked in the top 20, maybe top 15. And, South Carolina, that's just a really, really tough loss. Okay, we got to talk about Tennessee, Georgia. So Tennessee's up 21-7. They forced a 4th down around midfield in the first half. If they stop them, maybe go up 28-7, and that's it. They just run away with it. Georgia got the 4th down, 21-14, and then Tennessee just went on a lull. In the second quarter and the third quarter, they just didn't play well. They were committing penalties. They were missing guys. They were giving up too much on the ground. And so it was a really close game. I really thought early Tennessee had a chance to run away with this game. They were just having their way with Georgia, especially the pass defense. Georgia much better stopping the run than the pass. They got behind in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, they were up 35-30. Okay? And had the ball in Georgia territory. And Josh Heupel, who I think has done a really good job at Tennessee. I think his play calling has been outstanding for the most part. But the big problem is, going into the game, he was 0-4 against Georgia. He couldn't beat Georgia. He's beaten Alabama, beaten Florida, but you got to beat Georgia too. I get it. His first few years, Georgia was, winning national titles, and Tennessee wasn't where they are now. I get that. But it was an embarrassing loss last year, and they had to win this game. If they win this game, I think they would have made the playoff for sure. But it's 35-30. If you get a touchdown, you got 42-30. Georgia's probably cooked. There probably isn't enough time to get 2 touchdowns. But he calls 3 straight running plays, Josh Heupel does. And they settle for a field goal to go up 38-30. 1-score game. And what does Georgia do? Goes right down the field and ties it. Get the touchdown, they get the 2-point conversion. Unbelievable. Why aren't you calling passes? It's worked all game. Some of these coaches do this. They get ahead and they're worried, he might throw an interception. Let's just be real conservative. Let's just run the ball and hope to get the first down. It's insane. Georgia's much better at stopping the run than the pass. They were having so much trouble with those Tennessee wide receivers. And then Tennessee drives down. They're in field goal range. And they false start. So instead of a 37-yard kick, it's a 42. And he misses bad. Goes to overtime. Tennessee gets the ball first. Settle for a field goal. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. In overtime, if you kick the field goal, if you go first, kick field, you lose almost every time. Really tough loss for Tennessee. You got to win your home conference games if you want to make the playoff. Now they can afford to lose one more game the rest of the year. It is one of the easier SEC schedules, but still, it's the SEC. It's going to be tough. And they get Vandy at home, but that's going to be really tough. At Alabama, at Florida, Oklahoma at home. So Arkansas at home. Arkansas looked pretty good. I just mentioned that real quick in a second. But, Georgia, they're in great shape now. I think they're Alabama next week, but Even if they lose that game, that's still only one loss. Like I said, you go 10-2, you'll be fine. Yeah, Ole Miss, Arkansas. Arkansas is a really good offense this year. They're going to upset some people. Taylon Green, if you don't know that name, you will know it soon. Arkansas quarterback, threw for 305 yards and ran for 115. One of the best dual threats in the country. There's so many good quarterback play this year. So many dual threat quarterbacks like Marcel Reed, Lenore Sellers. But Arkansas, lost 41-35 at Ole Miss, which is a tough place to play. So Arkansas, they're 2-1 now. They're going to upset some people. They're not going to be an easy team to play in the SEC because they can score points. Georgia Tech, Clemson. That's the last game I want to talk about. I predicted Georgia Tech would win. Clemson's just a mess. They have so much talent on that team, especially on defense. But Cade Klubnik has more turnovers and touchdowns this year. And their offense is just not good enough. Georgia Tech played really well. Haynes King had an awesome game, their quarterback. They're in great shape now in the ACC. But Clemson, they're cooked. I know they don't play Miami, but they're cooked. They pretty much have to win out. I don't see that happening. They're just not a very good team. And it's so surprising because they have so much pro talent on that roster. I don't know what's going on in Clemson. It's not working this year. For whatever reason, the offense is just not good enough. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notification. Comment down below any of these games, any games you're looking forward to. Next week, we're going to talk a lot about college football on the Sports Truth podcast every Tuesday night with me and Mike, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Link in the description. I also write articles for PackersTalk.com, all about the Green Bay Packers. They're published every Wednesday. Link is also in the description. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. NFL games are about to start, so I will be traveling tomorrow, going back home. So if there's any breaking news, I will not be able to do instant reaction till probably Monday evening. If you have not, make sure you check out these videos. Share this with anyone who loves football as we grow the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.